This is CBC Vancouver News.
It's the end of an era. Taylor Swift's massive world tour wraps up at BC Place.
Most important night of our entire lives.
How Vancouver Swifties are embracing every last moment.
Finally making it to the Eras Tour was a pretty big deal, so I was like, I need to find a way to make that permanent.
Also,
what if the value of the Bitcoin has gone down substantially in that time? It's a very volatile asset.
making Vancouver more Bitcoin friendly. Why some experts say the move could be risky. Also,
all of us, we are very happy. I just want to cry.
BC's Syrian community is reacting to the collapse of the Assad regime. Why some hope it's a sign of a better future for their home country. Hello, thanks for joining us. I'm Janella Hamilton. A global phenomenon is coming to a close tonight. Pop sensation Taylor Swift taking the stage for the very last time at BC Place. Our Benit Brach is grooving along outside the stadium right now. Benit, what's the atmosphere like for Swift's final performance?
Well, Janella, this arena is still bumping. This concert is not over yet. I am constantly hearing fans. They're cheering, they're singing along. You can just hear the energy in that space. So that's what's glistening inside. And here outside, we've got fans who've been waiting all night. They've been, some of them trying to desperately get into the concert, get those last minute tickets, but others just taking in what they can of the night. I have folks right here beside me. They're bobbing their heads. They're taking videos on their phone, making some memories. And, you know, Janella, again, it's the momentum of this concert. It's the excitement. It's the commitment of these fans. And today I spent some time talking to Swifties about how they're really trying to hold on and embrace the last day of the Eras Tour.
Welcome to the Eras Tour.
After 2 years and 149 shows across 5 continents, it's the end of an era for Swift's record-breaking world tour, coming to close in the city that quickly became known as Swift-Couver.
You're making me feel like tonight we get to spend the last night of the Eras Tour with 60,000 beautiful people in Vancouver.
Heartfelt moments ahead of Swift's birthday. Shimmering sequins, glitter, and rhinestones. Wrists stacked with symbols of friendship. Swifties embracing every last moment.
Oh my God, so excited! I really love Taylor. And just to hear her sing is amazing.
Yeah, and you?
Same.
Some fans happy to pay the price to see the pop sensation more than once.
We actually came last night and we decided on a whim.
We weren't supposed to be coming tonight, and we told our husbands we're not coming home. This is the most important night of our entire lives.
I feel like Vancouver really showed up too with all the signs and all the events that are happening.
As some 160,000 fans took in the Eras over 3 nights, some even found a way to hold on to the tour forever.
I'm getting 3 different ones.
Artists at the Sleight of Hand tattoo shop inked about 200 Swift-inspired tattoos. Samantha Millership got Taylor's cats, a dragon, and the heart hands from Swift's Fearless album.
Finally making it to the Eras Tour was a pretty big deal, so I was like, I need to find a way to make that permanent.
From tattoos to taking in the city on a Taylor-themed trolley.
And you don't really mean to.
Fans belted their favorite tunes.
There's just been so much enthusiasm, showing a lot of positivity towards each other, and I think that's what being a Swiftie is all about. So we're just honored to host.
The concerts are estimated to boost an economic impact of about $157 million for the city, according to Destination Vancouver. The blockbuster tour began in Arizona back in March 2023. And in these final hours at BC Place Stadium,
Thank you so much, Vancouver.
thousands from across the world singing and dancing their hearts out. Holding on to the memories and momentum of the Eras. And again, there's a reason that Swift chose Vancouver to end her Eras Tour. She talked about just the generous crowds, how welcoming people have been, and we have seen those standing ovations every night that have lasted minutes upon minutes. And yeah, it is a bittersweet night for fans tonight, and there's still these questions of like, okay, will she have some sort of big announcement today, and we don't know yet. We don't know what she's got up her sleeve if she does, but we're going to stand out and see if there's any new strings that she's going to pull. In the meantime, yes, Taylor Swift will be taking her last bow of the night, ending off her Eras Tour tonight. Janella?
A lot of excitement and anticipation still to come. Thanks so much, Beneat Breach, reporting live for us tonight outside BC Place. As we heard, music history is being made right here in Vancouver tonight. As Yvette Bren reports, the Eras has issued in a whole new era in tours, still leaving fans and local economies clamoring for more.
It's the final show of a global phenomenon.
It's like a historical moment.
I think a lot of people are going to be really sad, but it's just iconic. I think that's why I wanted to come. I went to the Toronto show.
The big finale drawing thousands of Swifties to Vancouver.
We're all here for one reason, so it's exciting.
Amelia's the biggest Swiftie in Osoyoos, and this is kind of a Christmas gift for her.
This 9-year-old came to enjoy the atmosphere despite having no tickets.
I just think she's really nice because she has really relatable songs.
Swift's multi-generational draw, her book, movie, and smart marketing have helped her smash concert records with her 149 shows in 50 cities.
She is a business. She is a product. There's no question about it.
When I walk in the room, I can still make the whole place shimmer.
The Eras Tour has grossed more than $2 billion in just under 2 years. And there are signs of trickle-down Swiftonomics. Moneris, a payment service provider, reports spending in Toronto spiked 45% in the 10 days around her tour there.
Everywhere she goes, she has a massive economic impact. And it's now to the point where, our Prime Minister commented on her not coming to Canada initially.
Luring Swift north along with so many of her fans.
Well, this is probably the biggest concert tour that's the world has ever seen, and she decided to end it here in Vancouver. I know she has something great in store next, so I can't wait to see what that is.
And that's the big question for all these fans. After almost 2 years touring the world and 3 sold-out concerts right here in Vancouver, what will Taylor Swift's next era be? Yvette Bren, CBC News, Vancouver.
The city of Vancouver could soon take a major leap into the world of cryptocurrency. Mayor Ken Sim is introducing a motion to make Vancouver a Bitcoin-friendly city. But as Shoria Chethri reports, experts say the move could be risky.
Hey, how's it going? Curtis Warren is the owner and operator of Funk Coffee Bar. But beyond serving frothy drinks, he has turned his cafe into a hub for conversations about cryptocurrencies.
Paying in Bitcoin, okay, you get 5% discount.
At the coffee bar, customers can pay and even tip in Bitcoin.
We use Bitcoin to be able to preserve our purchasing power because it protects us from inflation.
Bitcoin is a decentralized digital currency free from government control, and Warren would like to see the city of Vancouver embrace it as well, a sentiment echoed by Mayor Ken Sim. Sim is tabling a motion this week to explore using Bitcoin for city payments like taxes and fees and converting some financial reserves into digital currency. It comes as Bitcoin's value has surged past $100,000 following U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's signal for a lighter regulatory approach to crypto. Advocates like Warren see it as a chance for Vancouver to lead in financial innovation.
People want to be in communities which have other like-minded people. So if you plant a flag for saying, hey, we're a Bitcoin-friendly city, come open your business here, that can attract lots of businesses to be able to do so.
He says Vancouver has been a hub for cryptocurrency with more than 100 local businesses accepting Bitcoin. But critics warn it comes with risks.
What if the value of the Bitcoin has gone down substantially in that time? It's a very volatile asset. Then the city would be left short of funds. So I think it's actually extremely risky.
The mayor's motion also touts Bitcoin mining's environmental benefits, which Rody says is, quote, a straight lie.
Bitcoin is actually horribly environmentally unfriendly because it requires massive amounts of energy, which compared to me handing you a $20 bill or sending you an e-transfer, it's just way off the scale.
The proposal points to successes in other places like Switzerland and El Salvador, where Bitcoin adoption has boosted economic activity. But in Canada, legal changes might be required if Vancouver becomes a Bitcoin-friendly city. The province's current laws don't allow cities to accept cryptocurrency payments. Vancouver City Council will vote on the motion this Wednesday. Shaurya Chetri, CBC News, Vancouver.
Surrey police are asking for help in locating a missing Indigenous woman. Police say 20-year-old Savannah LaLiberty was last seen on the evening of November 25th near 127th Street and 76th Avenue. She is described as 5 feet 2 inches tall, 130 pounds, with dark hair, brown hair, and hazel eyes. Police say LaLiberty is known to hang out around Holland Park and the Surrey Central area. Anyone with information is being asked to contact police or Crime Stoppers. Syria awoke to a new political order today after the collapse overnight of the Assad regime. The rebels that accomplished it were greeted as heroes in Damascus. The CBC's Margaret Evans reports.
This is Syria at the turning of the page, the past in flames and a new hope rising. As news spread that Bashar al-Assad had fled the country, people took to the streets in jubilation. After all the years of dictatorship we've lived through, we were in prison, says this man, and now we're out and at the moment where we're going to build the greatest Syria. That's what this man is promising them. Arriving in Damascus to speak at the Great Mosque, the main rebel leader Abu Muhammad al-Jalani, an Islamist who marshaled disparate rebel factions to end more than 50 years of brutal dictatorship under the al-Assad family. He called the feat a turning point for the region. He also promised healing for a country soaked in loss. This woman says 13 years of al-Assad's repression has cost her dearly.
My cousin, my son, my family, all of them.
The rebels arriving in Damascus freed some of the prisoners from the Sadnaya prison, as they've done in other cities. Al-Assad's jails, black holes of torture and death, into which the regime's opponents often disappeared. Elsewhere in the city, there was looting. Some residents finding themselves in the presidential palace, helping themselves to a few souvenirs. The former Prime Minister Mohammed Ghazi al-Jalali, who said he wouldn't leave the capital, has been designated as a transitional figure by the rebels, clearly eager to present themselves as a group with a plan, also aimed at calming regional concerns. Those celebrating the demise of the al-Assad regime weren't confined to Syria. These were the scenes in neighboring Lebanon, the border crammed with Syrians eager to return home after years of exile. Mohammed Sharia hasn't seen his family since fleeing the country 8 years ago. He says all Syrians will now be safe because the one who threatened them is gone. Margaret Evans, CBC News, at the Lebanon-Syria border.
Here in BC, hundreds from the Syrian community are coming together in light of the news. As Sohrab Sandhu reports, some hope it's a sign of a better future for their home country.
Calls for unity ripple through the crowd. A group of men join hands and break into celebratory dance and song, while these young kids offer people treats.
Why are you distributing them?
Because Syria's free.
Many at Sunday's rally say they never thought this day would come.
The mood is happiness, victory, and blessed
The Syrian government collapsed early Sunday after President Bashar al-Assad fled the country, and the rebel coalition took control of the capital, Damascus, sending crowds of people into the streets to celebrate the end of the Assad family's 50 years of iron rule.
My dad lives somewhere close to one of the detention centers in Damascus, seeing people getting released. He's trying to help them and support them to find their family.
Similar rallies being held across the province. In Victoria, a group gathered at the steps of the BC legislature.
There is no words to express our feel. All of us, we are very happy. I just want to cry.
Back in Vancouver, Hala Magames, who left Syria 9 years ago, says after years of turmoil back home, the news came as a surprise to her family.
It took us like few minutes to, digest it and believe that it's reality, it's happening.
But even amongst the celebration, some in Vancouver's Syrian community remain concerned about what's next.
Hopefully we'll be able to navigate this to build a democratic country for Syrians.
One expert says what happens in Syria in the coming days is going to be an indicator of things to come.
We have to be careful. ISIS can resurge, and there are large spaces in Syria that are now ungovernable and open to ISIS penetrations.
What's coming next, we know that it's in our hands, so we have to unite and together we can decide and write our future.
Magames says with the Syrian president now gone, she would consider moving back to a country she once called home. Sohrab Sandhu, CBC News, Vancouver.
Still ahead, how craft markets are helping small businesses impacted by the Canada Post strike find relief. That's next. Stay with us. With the Canada Post strike now heading into its fourth week, some small businesses are struggling to ship their goods. But as Claire Palmer reports, in-person craft markets are helping bridge that gap.
Christmas carols in the air, rows of local vendors. 'Tis the season for holiday craft fairs.
I find these markets very helpful to augment my income somewhat.
For Vancouver Island photographer Marcy Mahler, it's also a way to make sure her customers receive the art pieces they purchase.
However, with the postal strike, it's been a little bit challenging to get my product to my customers. Some services have changed to Pure Later, but not very many. And so it makes it very difficult, and I feel people are not purchasing because they're having trouble finding a way to get it there economically as well.
A lot of these people, this is their only source of income, or a lot of them that, yeah, it is their supplementary income. Obviously, you know, they've got families and, you know, things that they need as well for their lives. And, you know, times have been tough economically.
Some of these vendors do this as a hobby. Others rely on the money to make ends meet during the holiday season. Samuel Shell Smith says without markets like this one, he has to rely on online sales, which he worries could be impacted by the postal strike.
Being in person is very important for selling art because people really like to make a connection with the artist. You know, I mean, it's kind of a cliche, but it's true, and people want to hear a story about the painting.
It is extremely important. Everybody here works very, very hard, myself included, to create these things, and they are amazing things.
Cornwaith says when you buy directly from vendors at a craft market, all proceeds go back into the community.
I just know that because of Canada Post, these markets have become even more important because now they don't have to ship their items if people can just come here and buy from them directly.
Some of these artisans and business owners say that even with the ongoing job action at Canada Post, it's important to remember to shop local all year round. Claire Palmer, CBC News, Cedar.
Here we have a live shot of Burrard Inlet facing the North Shore, and we can see in the distance a Christmas tree all lit up at Harbour Centre. I'll have your full forecast coming up next.
So I know when I really like a song, if within the first 3 seconds, I'm already vibing to it.
Hey, I'm Rohith Joseph. Vibin' is the new show all about discovering great new songs and fresh artists from across BC and beyond.
It's not one person dictating what good music is, it's the community sharing what good music is.
Stream Vibin' on CBC Listen.
Avalanche warnings have been issued for multiple regions across BC following a dump of snow and heavy rain from recent storms. Search and rescue crews are warning backcountry users of all experience levels to be prepared and not to be complacent.
It doesn't matter how good you are when you're in avalanche terrain. So it's recognizing that terrain and choosing sometimes today's not the day that I should be going.
She says anyone who ventures out should have avalanche training, proper equipment, and know how to use it, and never go into the backcountry alone. In an avalanche situation, she says if people can't rescue themselves, by the time professional help arrives, it's usually too late. Avalanche Canada is recommending people avoid high-risk areas altogether. All right, let's take a peek at our forecast for the week ahead. Let's begin with a quick look at the current temperatures around the province. -11 and clear in Fort St. John, -7 in Williams Lake, and on the island in Tofino, 3 degrees, similar conditions in Victoria. Heading into tomorrow, Fort St. John, mix of sun and clouds and a -7. A lot of fog in Prince George and a -4 for tomorrow. 1 in both Whistler and Kelowna for tomorrow. And on the island, a little more precipitation with scattered showers and a high of 7 in Victoria and a high of 8 in Tofino. Here in Metro Vancouver, 7 is our high for Monday with those scattered showers. It's going to dry up for Tuesday with a high of 6, but similar temperatures throughout the entire week. It's a fusion like no other where East meets North Pole. The Dr. Sun Yat-sen Classical Chinese Garden is hosting Santa Saturdays, where guests can get photos with Santa and Mrs. Claus against the backdrop of the garden's Ming Dynasty-inspired landscape.
We really see this as an opportunity for this kind of interaction between Chinese culture and Western cultures. And our Santa is actually of Chinese descent, so it has been a really interesting and fun collaboration.
He says Santa Saturdays runs until December 21st. That is your late news for this Sunday. Thanks so much for watching. For news on the go at any hour, you can always head to our website at cbc.ca/bc. Have a great night.